Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Learn more about the Experience community at our website, local.theexperience.video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Experience is brought to you each week by these great sponsors. Buddy Puckett at Guild Mortgage, 698 12th Street Southeast, Suite 100 in Salem. Give Buddy a call at 503-851-8031 and find him online at guildmortgage.com. The Aspects of Aging weekly talk show with Christine A. Smith. Unscripted conversations with experts. Live every Monday at noon Central on LinkedIn and YouTube. Learn more at agingbetternetwork.com. BestEntrepreneurSolutions.com. Nancy Bakke helps business owners attain their goals, create new business opportunities, generate higher conversion rates, and increase customer values. Learn how you can work with Nancy at BestEntrepreneurSolutions.com. And now let's get on with the show.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. We are so blessed and happy to be with you today. How you doing, Scott?
Well, we're doing good. I hope everyone is safe from whatever weather is going on in their area. Sheila, our guest today, is in Miami, and it's stormy in Miami.
Yes. Well, I am blessed to say that it is sunny and nice here in Oregon. And my son and daughter-in-law are currently in Italy, and it's sunny over there too. So poor Sheila got the little pocket of storm.
Hey, Russ, what is going on in Russ's world?
Well, I tell you, it's been a busy week. Lots happening. Getting out, meeting some clients, doing things with the ability that I have, and looking forward to getting my scans this Friday. I'm happy that I can move forward. The quarterly scans that I get for my cancer are always a positive thing to me because it just shows that things are getting better. That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. We're praying that everything goes well for you. And I do thank you for posting updates for folks because that helps. People can just follow you on the different social channels and you'll give us an update when you get results.
Yeah, well, I'm so appreciative of all the prayers, and I'm thankful for that. And you know what? Hey, God is good. I just keep moving forward, keep smiling, and thankful to be here with you, Scott. Want to remind everybody, we're here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. And guess what? Scott created this nifty local.theexperience.video site that will tell you more about Scott and I, about our shows, The Experience, including The Experience Live that you're watching now, The Experience Local on Mondays, the Waco Experience that Scott is doing. So many things happening. Scott, what do you got going on?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going down to Houston. Christina and I will be driving down tomorrow on Thursday, and we'll be in Houston on Thursday and Friday. Friday morning, it's the social media breakfast. They're in year 16 now with Cami Hoysa, and got a number of friends that are going to be coming from the Houston area to be there. So I'm just looking forward to spending 3D time with folks.
Yeah, so much fun. So much fun. Wish I could be there with you, but it's going to be so great, really. And I am looking forward to the day when I can come down there and spend time with you guys. So that'll be great. So anyway, with that in mind, you know what? I think we should just move forward this morning, get Sheila in. She has got so much knowledge about dreams and things we're going to talk about today. Very, very interesting topic. Mm-hmm. So I think we'll bring her in. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right. Morning, Sheila.
Good morning. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you both?
Sheila, we are doing good. I'm looking forward to learning more about you. So let's get an overview. What is going on in Sheila's world?
Well, in Sheila's world, lately, I've become a radio show host again. That's something I've done off and on over the years. This time it's a show built around dreams specifically called Crack Your Dream Code. And there's some moving in some really exciting directions and things I hadn't even expected. So that's quite exciting. There's some other things that I'm doing, like I need to update some books that I've written, read some new ones. I'm speaking more, but mostly I'm just hitting my stride. I'm really feeling that I'm in my element now, doing what I truly love, and the right people coming along, like you two, um, to help the process and get the word out.
Yeah, well, I really had a wonderful conversation with you, Sheila, and I want to have you expand on a little bit what you're all about with dreams and all of this. You know, you were introduced to me by two of my very good friends, and so tell us a little bit about what you do and what can you learn from your dreams.
Well, you know what? I'm going to make this a little bit personal because you've been very open about your dealing with cancer. And I have worked over the years as a therapist. I've worked with patients that were experiencing cancer in various forms. And in fact, my second husband I lost to cancer. But one thing that neuroscience has been showing is that dreams have the power to give us knowledge that we would not otherwise not have. Um, for example, talking about women in breast cancer, for example, studies have shown that women quite often will have dreams that precede them actually being diagnosed with breast cancer. And sometimes that can be more than, maybe a year or more in advance of the actual cancer being detected. So, I mean, the body has its own wisdom, and it, the that inner wisdom captures the wisdom of the universe, literally. So that tapping into that can be of help to entrepreneurs. It can be of help to people in terms of their health and personal growth. I've had clients who've gone through the course that I teach on how to work with dreams, who got important health information. One was regarding her heart, um, and but it was because she was able to get what I call the gold in the gobbledygook of the dream and capture the essential information that she was able to, okay, I know what this is. And she was able to actually translate that into concrete action to protect her heart. So, I mean, dreams help us to tap into a wider wisdom, basically. You know how many things, let me ask you this, how many things do you think have been invented or created because of dreams?
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up, Sheila, and we'll pursue this. I actually got paid for an idea I dreamed up while I was working at Hewlett Packard. We did printing, and I had this dream about using the inkjet printer to print on celluloid film, right? Because this was before digital projectors were everywhere. And so I called it Movie Jet and did some research, wrote it up, and they paid me for that invention disclosure. And
Well, there you go.
literally something I dreamed
Literally,
up.
Google, Google, the eponymous Google. We Google everything these days. The result of a dream. Einstein's E equals MC squared. The result of a dream. Frankenstein, the novel. Hit songs by the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Hit movies. Dreams, all on the back of dreams. So even as an entrepreneur, when I talk to entrepreneurs, I'm like, what business idea are you sitting on and ignoring because you're not listening to your dreams? I mean, yes, dreams have their own language and their own way of presenting information, so that you really do have to learn how to crack the code, and everybody's code is different. I dream of a black cat, and it's going to be different from what a black cat for you would mean in a dream, or somebody else would mean in a dream. So you have to become familiar with yourself, and that takes a little bit of being, really being honest, with yourself, and getting to know yourself well enough so that when these symbols, which is all they are, representative of different things in our lives, appear, it's like a visual shorthand, let's say. I see that and it's like, oh, okay, I know what that's about. What is it around that I need to look at? And it's developing that inner knowledge that is really key to being able to crack that individual dream code that we all have.
Yeah, I am a firm believer that God gives me dreams sometimes to kind of wake me up and alert me to things that I need to do. Just recently, actually, in the last couple of years, I've had some very, very vivid dreams that I woke up to, and I went to do what it was prompting me to do, and it made a gigantic difference. Like, for example, this year on my taxes, I woke up wondering if my tax professional had missed something on my taxes. I sent them what I thought, and they had actually missed it, and it made a couple $1,000 difference on my
Oh,
taxes.
yeah. Oh,
Also,
baby.
yeah. And I also had another one where it was actually ended up making a $40,000 difference on a bill that I woke up wondering about. Yes. So huge, huge dreams. And these are things that I was dreaming about, woke up, was prompted to go, not really knowing why. And then this is what the outcomes are. So I really think that God directs me a lot of times through those. I love the part you're talking about too, about entrepreneurs, inventions, things like that. Scott talked about his example of what he learned. Do you find that when you have these discussions with entrepreneurs, that suddenly they become more aware and they're more profitable and better in their business because of it?
Yes, absolutely, because you could call it following your gut, using intuition, whatever you want to call it. There's that inner compass that keeps us pointing in our true north. And my true north is not your true north, it's not Scott's true north, it's your true north. And as long as we, try to keep ourselves closely aligned with that, we find that life becomes much more effortless. I have found anyway, when I find that things start to stutter, I was like, okay, all right, let me stop. What's going on here? And maybe I need to redirect, maybe I need to just stop, maybe something. But it's a signal to me that when they start hitting the bumps, that something's not quite right. And dreams serve many functions, and neuroscience is showing that more and more, that dreams are not just an adjunct of sleep, but they have a function in and of themselves. I've identified so far about 5 different types of dreams that I notice that people have. Ones could be like problem-solving dreams. That sounds like what you were having with regard to your taxes. The greatest computer in the universe is here. And so, like a subroutine, we're working on, something is bedeviling us during the day, like a subroutine. The subconscious, the unconscious mind, rather, will keep working on it in the background. And then suddenly it will hang itself on something that it could come up as a dream. It may come up as something you hear on TV. It may be, a random remark somebody makes in passing. You just have to be alert to it. Dreams are the most direct way of the universe kind of like telling, hey, pay attention, this is important. But I mean, it can happen in other ways. I mean, and if we don't listen to the more subtle clues, the universe has a tendency to knock us flat, literally. And I can testify to that one. I have literally been knocked flat by the universe because I wasn't listening. It's like, oh, you're not listening? Okay, I'll make you listen. And I was flat on my back literally for a couple of weeks.
So
So
there,
it's like,
so
pay attention.
yeah, Sheila, in our society, we talk about the problem of lack of sleep. This is maybe it could be termed as a pandemic. That in a busy society, when we have lots of opportunities to engage while we're awake, we sacrifice the sleep time, and we know that there's things that happen when we sleep. So when our brains are processing, there's neurotransmitters that are firing off in our brain, these chemicals. Well, they leave residues. And when we sleep, that gets flushed out. It's getting rid of I call it getting rid of the brain poop, right? This is sometimes
Yeah.
you take a
Yeah.
little nap
It's
in the afternoon,
garbage. It's the
right?
it's the garbage
Yeah.
detail. Yeah,
Yeah, it gets cleaned out. So let's talk about
absolutely.
people's sleep patterns, diet, exercise, all these things that will interrupt dreams, and what are the results?
Wow, that's each of those things that you've mentioned is a subject in and of itself. I mean, I was originally like a dream consultant, and then I realized that if people aren't sleeping well, they're not dreaming well either, because there are various stages of sleep, and where that we go up and down from the lightest to the deepest levels during the night. The dream cycle is at the deepest level of sleep. So if you're not getting, sufficient amount of rest, or something is impeding good sleep, whether it be, drugs, alcohol, stress, medication, whatever the case may be, you can't get to that level. And it's studies have shown that Wall Street. I worked on Wall Street for many years, and Wall Street bankers, when they haven't had enough sleep, they make the worst decisions. I mean, I'm sure Boski, which has happened when I was working in the banking industry, was the result of people tanked up on all kinds of stuff and on little sleep. The brain doesn't fire properly, and wrong decisions become more common. So insufficient sleep is a precursor just to general well-being. I mean, at every level, right down to cellular level. So, I mean, when I realized that I had to help people to sleep better as well, and I'll give you a tip right now that people can take away with them if they're willing, and that is, if turn off the Wi-Fi at night, to leave your phone as far away from you in your bedroom as possible. Let your bedroom be for two things. One of them is sleep. Anything else needs to come out of the room. The blue light alone from your phones, from baby monitors, from your smartphones, your smart TVs, your this, that, the other, all emitting blue light, which not only attracts you, you want to pick up your phone and start talking or texting, but it also disturbs the production of melatonin and serotonin, which are important sleep hormones. And if you're not producing sufficient to go to sleep and stay asleep, your brain starts to misfire. You start to go a little bit loopy because your brain is not getting the rest it needs, and to do the garbage detail, flushing out the plaque and whatnot that causes things like dementia and Alzheimer's can't get flushed out because it's not having that space to do so. So sleep is essential, and another question people ask is, how much sleep is enough? That depends. I mean, 6 hours for me is great, and I've always been like that since the time I was a child. My parents used to tell me, go back to sleep. But that works for me. If I have 7, 8 hours, I'm stupid. I can't get it together at all. But some people, they need 8 hours. Some people need nine. If they're sleeping 9, 10 hours, I mean, there may be something else going on and they need to look at that. But having a sleep diary, even just for a week or two, to see what may be triggering poor sleep, what kind of hygiene is sufficient for you. What kind of routine do you have? Are you watching Netflix, binging on Netflix till 3 in the morning? Hello, you're going to have a problem. So, it's looking at the totality of it. Again, you mentioned, Scott, you mentioned looking at nutrition. What we eat can be important as well. Certain foods can help calm the system down, whereas other things may actually stimulate it. The people say, oh, have a drink before going to bed. Not such a good idea because it stimulates the system.
Yeah.
So, there's. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it is so vital for me to get sleep. And it is like, I wake up refreshed, ready to go bright and early in the morning. But if I haven't got enough sleep, then my whole morning is sluggish, which is really my productive time, and it affects my whole day. And I agree with you. A lot of it has to do with the things that I'm eating as well. And I think you're 100% right. When we're sleeping well, we're dreaming well. And that is when the brain is really functioning well. And there's so many people that don't look at that. And a lot of it is our own choice, like you're talking about, right? I mean, we're choosing to stay up and binge on Netflix till 3 in the morning, which I could never do. I would fall asleep. No binging for me that late. But yeah, I mean, those choices are so important.
Absolutely. I mean, and but it's not always that we have to make these grand gestures to be able to affect a change. It's little things done consistently can make all the difference. I mean, just that I've had one client years ago. She hadn't had a good night's sleep in years, literally. And I said, well, what are you doing? Let's go through your normal routine and how you get ready for sleep. And the one thing we did was take the phone out of the room. And she said from the next night, she was already sleeping better. And she
Hmm.
hadn't had a good night's sleep in years. And it's like, but I mean, it's, when you get to the point where you took to turn to your phone before you turn to your spouse laying next to you, there's a problem there. And it's recognized. As a psychotherapist, I recognize, and my fellow therapists recognize that addictions to phones is a very, very real thing.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
real.
Yeah, it was probably 6 or 8 years ago that I followed that advice. And so many people say, well, that's where my charger is. So I put the charger in my office. So that's where my phone, is charging up overnight. Well, people say, oh, it's my alarm clock. I went to Goodwill and spent $1.99 and got an alarm clock, a little battery powered thing, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of alarm clocks, people that were asking, what kind of, I need an aggressive alarm clock. And my response was to all these other ones out there. I said, you just need an alarm clock that makes you go to bed 6 to 8 hours before you need to get up.
There you go.
So, yeah, I'm a big proponent of uh, being intentional about your routines, your rituals, the habits, the things that prepare you for that transition. Transitioning to sleep doesn't mean doom scrolling through Instagram, uh, laying in bed, right? And
Exactly.
and Simon Sinek will say, are you addicted to your phone? Well, if the first thing you do when you get up in the morning, if the first thing you do is start scrolling through your phone, he goes, you're addicted. Just like the person who would get up and walk out and smoke a cigarette, right? They are addicted, and we have control over the phone. Just move the charger. I like the whole idea, Sheila. I like your idea of turning off the Wi-Fi. That is some. So let's. I know we're going to be winding down here, Russ. So let's get some final practical tips,
Okay.
Sheila.
Well, the first thing, I mean, if you really want start to understand dreams, the first thing you need to do is to start noting them. Not to and to leave the left brain alone. You know, the logical bean counting part of the brain. And let the creative brain, which is actually the oldest part of the brain, the reptilian brain that was concerned with survival, flourish, because that's where the dreams are born, in that creative side of ourselves. But to write them down, don't judge, just write them down. Over time and with help, you can start to see a story unfolding, or see the thread that links different dreams together, especially if they're dreamt in close succession to one another. But that's the most important thing. First of all, is to start to notice your dreams, and not to just dismiss them as being the result of cheap wine or cheese at night. The other thing is, like I said, I mean, to sleep well, look at your routine, really. What are you doing? What can you do better? It's like I never want to sit in judgment on people, but what can you say now that you know better? What can you do better? That Wi-Fi, and if you have children, those baby monitors are not good for them either. Their brains are still forming. And you're sending all these microwaves into their little heads. Not good. Not good at all. It's not good for the adults either, but it's even worse for them. So, little things like that. Be conscious, about what you're doing. Like I said, if you can turn the Wi-Fi off, that gives you time to actually spend time with the people in the house you live in. Which isn't a
Amazing
bad thing.
thought, right?
Hey. So, just little things. It's not huge changes that you need to look at, but maybe doing little things, but doing them consistently.
Right. Well, and I think consistency is so, so important. And on that note, we like to consistently stay on time. And so as we wind up on the show today, we could be talking for hours because this is such a great topic. But we would like for you, Sheila, if you could please give us your gold nugget of the day, what you really want people to remember from our conversation today, and then let them know how they get in touch with you. Because, boy, I tell you, you've got a lot of wisdom when it comes to dreams and sleep and all that. And I highly recommend people get in touch with you. So take it away.
Well, you can always drop me an email at Sheila, Sheila, at the Dream Detective, all one word, .me, M-E. You can also find me pretty much everywhere on social media if you look up the Dream Decipherer. You can also find me on Pave Unite FM, where I have on Thursdays, I have a radio show called Crack Your Dream Code. And you can also find my website, which is crackyourdreamcode.com. But I do hope that, you do get in touch, because this is my passion. It really is my passion. And I love working with people and helping them grow and see the growth in themselves, because they've listened to their dreams. So please get in touch.
That is so awesome. So awesome. Well, listen, we appreciate you so much being here today. And this is a great topic that people need to be thinking about their health, thinking about their sleep, their rest, and how their dreams influence our life. And so today we just want to thank you for being here. And Sheila, we're going to send you to the green room, but hang tight for just a second as we wrap the show up. All right?
No
Thank
problem
you,
at all.
Sheila.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, you're a blessing. Thank you.
I love it when people say, I had this really weird dream last night. I think all dreams are weird. So you should really say, I had like this normal dream last night.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm just telling you, I have learned God has definitely put dreams to alert me to things, and it's been very vivid. I'm not claiming that I'm just this big dream, like God gives me these gigantic things, but it's just little teeny things that lead me in a direction that make a significant difference, not just financially, just in things that I'm doing. And the examples I just gave were good financial examples, but I think that when we listen to and give ourselves space to think, Scott, and that it says the same with sleeping, give ourselves time to actually sleep well and dream well, we're always going to be healthier and we're always going to be more on it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just take care of the machine, and as Sheila was saying, take care of that supercomputer between your ears.
Yeah. For sure. Absolutely. Well, listen, speaking, taking care of ourselves, want to remind everybody we're here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's 9 a.m. Texas Standard Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. Would love it if you're watching on replay, which a ton of people do, please put hashtag Team Replay. You still say hi to our guest and communicate with us or the other people in the comments. It is a great networking experience, a great way to build community. And we thank you all for being part of our community today. And looking forward to next Wednesday. Also, before the show every week, we have the Experience Backstage Live with Russ, Scott, and Shree. That's on Instagram only. You can join us there. We have so much fun getting ready for this show. And Shree gives us some amazing video tips, and Scott gives us some wisdom that you should be there for. So anyway, with that, Scott, any last words as we wrap things up?
I just want to say thank you to Nancy Bakke, to Buddy Puckett at Guild Mortgage, and Christine at the Aging Better Network, the Aspects of Aging weekly talk show, for sponsoring the experience. And I encourage people to go to local.theexperience.video. And I'll say we've got a tip bucket there. This is member sponsored. If you like guests like Sheila, then click on the link and make a donation.
There you go. We are definitely not only sponsor supported, but we are also listener supported. And we would love it if you would give to what we consider a ministry, but it just helps us get the good word out. And we're so thankful for everybody who has supported us. And it is such a blessing. And one last thing, don't forget we're here Mondays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Pacific Daylight Time, on the Experience Local. And we have one of our sponsors that is here that is also a sponsor on the Experience Local, a gift sponsor. And this is available to you if you happen to be in the Willamette Valley or in Oregon in their service area. Check this out. Thank you, Ironhead Roofing, our new gift sponsor, for this special $500 off a new roof. Take advantage today.
And all people need to do is watch the Experience Local and make a comment, either live or in replay. But on Monday, go to the Experience Local.
And who doesn't want $500 off their roof, right? So anyway, with that, we're so thankful you're all here. Have a blessed and awesome rest of your week. And don't forget to enjoy life and enjoy
the experience.
Woohoo! Okay.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.